Chosen one, go to your room. Close the door. If anyone is in the house with you right now, this is not for them. Silence the noise of the world for the next 30 minutes. What is about to be spoken into your spirit was prepared for you in private, and it must be received in private. This is not entertainment. This is not content. This is a sealed message that has been carried for a very long time to find you on the exact night you are sitting where you are sitting. You have been waiting for something specific without knowing what it was. You have been listening for a voice you could not name. The reason every loud space has felt slightly wrong lately is because the Father has been pulling you into a chamber where only one voice speaks at a time. And that voice is preparing to speak now. Do not move. Do not click away. Do not share this with someone else before you have heard it for yourself. Receive it alone. The door behind you is not a door of separation. It is the door of the Holy of Holies, and you are the one being called inside. Before another sentence lands, do the things only you can do for yourself in this room. Stop the scrolling on the second device. Set down whatever was in your hand. Let your back find the back of the chair. Take a real breath, the kind your body forgot how to take all week. Look at where you are, the corner of the wall, the lamp that has watched every hard evening you tried to keep quiet, the chair that has held more of your real self than any chair in any other room you walked into this week. This room knows you, not the version that smiles at the right times, the other one, the one that lives behind the closed door, the one that exhales when nobody is looking and lets the shoulders fall. That version is the one being addressed tonight, and that version is the only version this message was sent for. Before we go any deeper, I need you to stay until the end, not because the beginning is not enough, because the way the words land changes the further you go. In the next 30 minutes, you are going to recognize what season you are actually in and stop second-guessing it. You are going to understand why the people closest to you have grown distant and why that distance was protection, not loss. You are going to be given a word from the Father that is meant to sit in your spirit long after this room opens its door again. And there is a sacred declaration waiting at the very end that I believe will name something you have been needing to hear named for years. So do not leave, do not skip. Stay alone in this room with me, all the way through. Here is the first thing your spirit already knows. The conversations you used to enjoy have started to drain you, not because the people changed, because something in you outgrew the shape of those conversations. The same words you used to laugh at now feel hollow. The same gossip you used to participate in now feels like sandpaper on your skin. The same group chats that used to feel like home now feel like a weight you carry into your evening. This is not bitterness. This is your spirit beginning to recognize what does not match its frequency anymore. You are not turning cold. You are returning to what you actually carry. The second thing happening to you is quieter. Hobbies that used to feel like recovery have started to feel like noise. Movies you would have stayed up half the night for now feel like something you press pause on without finishing. Plans that used to thrill you weeks in advance now feel like something you would honestly rather not show up for. The hunger for the things that distracted you has thinned. This is not depression. This is the dimming of decoy lights so you can finally see the one true signal. The decoys had to grow boring before the real one could become visible. The third sign is in the small things you have started noticing. Numbers that have been showing up too often to be coincidence. The same hour catching your eye on different clocks across different rooms. A phrase you have heard twice in 2 days from two unrelated people who do not know each other. a song that keeps finding you on the worst mornings. This is not your mind making patterns out of nothing. This is the heavens marking your path. The signs are not random. They are the breadcrumbs of a father who refuses to let you walk this season blindfolded. The fourth thing is in the dreams. Dreams that have been more vivid than your waking hours. Dreams where you knew you were dreaming and could not look away. Dreams that left you with a peace you have not been able to find awake. Sometimes the dream is a place you have never been. Sometimes it is a person you have not seen in years, standing in front of you, saying something specific. Sometimes it is just a feeling you wake up holding for the rest of the day. These dreams are not random firing of a tired brain. The part of you that has access is being given a longer leash while your conscious mind sleeps. The Father speaks to his chosen ones in the night. He always has. He always will. And the fifth thing is something your body has been doing that nobody has explained to you. Waking at the same hour for weeks. 3 in the morning, 4:17. Whatever the hour is, your body has memorized it and meets it without an alarm. This is not insomnia. This is heaven knocking at the same door at the same time until you finally sit up and listen. The next time it happens, do not roll over and force yourself back to sleep. Sit up where you are. Whisper one sentence, even if it is only, "I am here, I am listening." That is enough. The hour is not punishing you. The hour is reaching for you. If 3 or 4 of those just landed in the room with you, if your shoulders dropped at any point in the last few minutes, your body knows. You can stop questioning what season you are in. You are in this one. But hear me carefully. The question is not what season you are in. The question is what is being formed inside the season. Because the season is not the point. The season is the workshop. The season is the chamber where something specific is being built that the world will only see later. And what is being built, the part nobody around you can see right now, is what we walk into next. Beneath the recognition lives a deeper layer, a current beneath the surface, the place where the answer has always been waiting. Let me show it to you. Here is what is being formed in this room. There is a frequency in here you cannot hear with your ears. Your nervous system has been broadcasting it for years, long before tonight. Long before you understood why some rooms felt safe and others felt wrong. The frequency has a name in research labs that have been studying it for decades, and we will get to that. But for now, just know this. The room is not only a room. The room is the workshop where what you carry is being calibrated. Here is what the last few years have actually been doing to you. For those entering this season, 3 things are happening at once. The first is unlearning. Every conversation you used to perform, every yes you said when you meant no, every laugh you forced when something inside you went quiet, every smile you offered to keep a room calm, even when the room was costing you, all of it had to be unlearned before the real you could surface. The unlearning was not failure. The unlearning was preparation. The second thing is stripping. There are versions of yourself you grew up assuming were necessary. The approval seeker, the over-explainer, the one who apologized first to keep the peace, the one who shrank in rooms where shrinking was rewarded. Those versions had to be stripped, not because they were evil, but because they were costumes. And the calling on your life cannot wear costumes into the room it is being sent into. The third thing is hearing. There are some words that cannot be heard in noise, some sentences from the Father that arrive only at 3 in the morning, only in closed rooms, only when the loudest voices in your life have been quieted long enough for the original voice to become audible again. The years of solitude were not punishment. They were the silence required to hear the original voice. There is a moment in the sacred texts that gets read every December but rarely understood. A young woman in a room by herself, doing nothing remarkable, not at the temple, not at the well, not in front of the elders, just at home, alone. An angel arrives. The greeting troubles her, not because she was unworthy, but because she was not seeking glory. She was simply alone. The announcement that comes is specific to her, by name. It could not have been delivered in the village square. It could not have been broadcast to the family or the religious leaders. The message had to arrive in the chamber where she was sitting, because the message was for the chamber version of her, not the public one. And what does she say? Not a speech, not a defense, not a question about whether she earned this. She simply receives. Whether or not your tradition holds her as central, the pattern she carries is universal. The chosen are visited in private rooms. They are not paged at conferences. They are not summoned at altars in front of crowds. They are visited where they are alone. The room you are sitting in right now is structurally identical to that room. Closed door, single occupant, heaven's full attention. The script you are inside has been written before, in different costumes, in different centuries. But the architecture has not changed. The chamber, the closed door, the arrival, the receiving. That is the order. That has always been the order. And you are inside the same order tonight. There is something most people read past without realizing what it actually says. Look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. The Father places the first human in a sacred garden and gives him an assignment. In English, the word is keep. Most people read this as maintain, like a gardener keeps a yard. But the original Hebrew word is shamar. Shamar does not mean to maintain. Shamar means to guard with reverence, to watch over with weight, to stand sentinel over something sacred. Shamar is what a soldier does at the door of a king's chamber. Shamar is what a priest does over an ancient flame that cannot be allowed to die. Hear what this means. The first calling given to humanity was not to produce, it was to shamar, to stand watch over what is sacred. The reason the room has been pulling you toward it for months is because there is something sacred inside of you that has needed shamar. A guardian, a watcher, a witness, and no one else was ever going to show up to keep watch except you. You are not lonely, you are on watch. It is the difference between owning a house and standing guard over a temple. You have been mistaking your assignment as the first, when it has always been the second. You were not abandoned in the room, you were stationed in it. And while you have been on watch, 4 things have been forming inside of you that the people around you cannot see. The first is discernment. You can read a room in 30 seconds because your nervous system trained on private alone time for years. You know who is safe and who is performing within minutes of meeting them. That gift was not given. That gift was forged in evenings nobody else attended. The second is compassion without merging. You feel deeply, but you no longer collapse into other people's chaos the way you used to. You can hold space for someone's pain without absorbing it as your own assignment. That separation took years to learn. The years you spent alone were the years it learned to live in your bones. The third is stillness as authority. Your silence has weight now. People feel it before you speak. You walk into a room and the temperature changes before you have said one word. That is not coincidence. That is what shamar produces in a watchman who has stood at the post long enough. The fourth is inner permission. You no longer need a witness to act on what is right. You can do the hard thing in private when no one will praise you. when no one will even know and you do it anyway. That is the formation that costs the most, and the formation the world rewards the least. So hear what those evenings alone actually built. Every quiet evening built discernment. Every conversation you did not pursue built compassion. Every plan that fell through built stillness. Every right thing you did when nobody was watching built permission. The years that looked like wilderness from the outside were the years your inner architecture was being completed. What was built in private is about to be tested in light. The chamber is opening, the watch is becoming ascending. But before we walk into that light, before I show you what is being placed in your hands tonight, what is real should be named. There are tools that exist for exactly the kind of restoration this season is asking of you. Tools your spirit may have already pulled toward without knowing why. Truth honors truth. Let what is real be named before another moment passes. What we just touched in this room, the frequency you cannot hear with your ears, the something inside you that has been broadcasting for years, has had a name in research labs for nearly 4 decades. 2 names, actually. 2 distinct discoveries. Brain restoration is not a single-stage process. Science has confirmed it happens in 2 stages, in 2 different waves that work in order. The first wave was hijacked by stress and has to be deactivated. The second wave was suppressed in childhood and has to be reactivated. 2 waves. 1. Restoration. The first is called the wealth signal. It is what Dr. Stephen Newton released after he broke from mainstream research and chose accessibility over the locked rooms his findings used to live in. It deactivates the stress signal that has been hijacking your nervous system, and it restores the alpha drawbridge, the access bridge to your subconscious that has been closed for so long you forgot you used to walk across it daily as a child. The second is called the genius song. It is what Dr. Robert Lake mapped after 34 years of research into why the genius frequency in the human brain dims after the age of 7. He named what he found the decline effect. The genius song reactivates that frequency, the original one, the one you arrived in this life carrying. The 2 work in order. Foundation first, acceleration second. The drawbridge has to open before the castle. Inside it can be illuminated. That is the sequence, and it cannot be skipped. If your spirit already pulls toward this before I say one more word about it, the path is in the description and the pinned comment beneath this message. There are 3 doors placed there for you. Do not rush. Stay for the rest of what is being given in this room tonight. But if you already know, the doors are below. The names alone are not the gift. The gift is in what comes next, what your spirit has been waiting to receive. In this room, the part nobody else in your life can deliver is about to land. So back into the deeper current of what tonight is for. There is more here than 2 names. For those entering this season, 3 areas of your life are about to reorganize themselves around the version of you that has just been formed. Not gradually, not in some distant future. The reorganization has already begun, and your job is not to manage it. Your job is to recognize what is happening so you do not panic when it accelerates. The first area is your relationships. People you assumed would always be in your life are going to feel further away than they have ever felt. Not because they did anything wrong, because the shape of who you used to be was the bridge between you, and that shape has dissolved. The conversations will get shorter, the check-ins will get rarer. Some friendships will not survive this season. It will hurt in a specific way that nothing has prepared you for. You will question if you pushed them away. You will replay old conversations and look for the moment you became unkind. You will not find it, because there is no moment. There is only formation. And formation creates distance, the same way a tree growing creates space between its branches. Do not chase the people who are leaving. Do not perform old versions of yourself just to keep them at the table. And just when you think you are alone, people who speak the language your spirit has been writing in private will begin to arrive. They cannot find you while you are still pretending to fit the old table. The second area is your purpose. A direction that has felt vague for years is about to sharpen. Not in the dramatic way you imagined, not in a vision, not in a sky-splitting announcement. In small, undeniable nudges that arrive at the strangest hours and refuse to be dismissed. You will feel both terrified and alive at the same time. The terror is not a stop sign. The terror is your body recognizing that the path is real. People who carry assignments of weight always feel the weight before they walk into it. That weight is not a warning. That weight is the proof you are reading a real map. Do not demand the entire vision before you take the first step. Do not wait for clarity that the path itself is going to give you only after you start walking. The first step never reveals the second. The first step earns the second. The third area is your provision. Doors are about to open in places you did not strategize toward. Income may begin to flow through paths your fear could not have predicted, a phone call you almost did not pick up, a project somebody else dropped that lands in your inbox, a skill you stopped charging for that someone offers triple to access. You will be tempted to disqualify yourself. You will wonder if you deserve what is showing up. You will be tempted to undercharge, to apologize for the size of what you carry, to make yourself small enough to not threaten the people who are still in their old shape. Stop. Receive what is being placed in your hands. Provision will keep coming through paths that surprise you, but only if you stop apologizing for the size of what the Father is giving you to steward. Hear what is happening across all three areas at once. What was draining you is about to start nourishing you. What was hidden is about to start being honored. What was unseen is about to start being witnessed. What was alone is about to start being set apart. What was misread is about to start being recognized. What was wasted is about to start being multiplied. If your spirit just confirmed any of those, if something inside you nodded when the words were spoken, type the words, "I see it," in the comments below, not as a request, as a seal over what was just declared. Let your fingers be the witness your voice has not been able to be. And before this continues, gently press the like button beneath this message, "Not for me," so this can reach someone else who has been quietly wearing themselves out, trying to fit a season they have already outgrown. Your one tap could be the breadcrumb the heavens use to find them tonight. What we have just declared belongs to you, but there is something you need to hear before this season can fully land. There is a voice in your own head that is going to try to convince you tonight is not real. We have to address that voice before it gets a chance to speak. The voice has been with you for years. You know its shape. It is the one that whispers, maybe you are just lonely. Maybe you are reading divine meaning into ordinary tiredness. Maybe you are not actually chosen. Maybe you are just exhausted enough to want to be. Maybe the recognition you felt 20 minutes ago was emotion, not truth. That voice is going to grow louder for the next 48 hours. It always does. The closer you get to receiving what is real, the louder the voice that wants you to dismiss it gets. So, let me name what is actually happening here. That voice was installed in you early, by people, by environments. by religious systems that taught you to second-guess what came naturally, by teachers who confused humility with self-erasure, by caregivers who could not handle a child whose intuition was too clear. The voice is not the truth. The voice is protection that was learned in rooms that did not know what to do with what you carried. And underneath the voice is an older fear, the fear that being specifically chosen would make you arrogant. So you preempt the arrogance by refusing to claim what has already been given. You stay small to stay safe. You disclaim the calling so nobody can ever call you proud. Hear me carefully. Refusing to receive what is yours is not humility. It is the disguise fear wears when it does not want to be named. Real humility receives. Real humility says yes to the assignment without pretending the assignment is too big for the one carrying it. There is a second pattern that is going to try to surface in the next 2 days. It will look different from the doubt, but it comes from the same place. The closer you get to receiving, the more you will feel the pull to sabotage, the pull to dismiss this whole evening as just another fleeting voice in the noise, the pull to explain away the recognition, the pull to return on purpose to the conversations and the habits that drained you, just to prove to yourself that you are not too good for them. This is not weakness. This is your nervous system trying to return to a familiar level of energy, because the unfamiliar, even when the unfamiliar is freedom, feels dangerous to a body that learned safety in scarcity. Both patterns can be answered the same way, with one quiet act of release that takes 30 seconds. If your hands are free right now, and only if they are, place one hand over your chest where your collarbones meet. If your hands are not free, if you are driving or holding something or simply cannot move, just imagine the touch, the hand on your chest, warm, steady, without judgment. Now, speak this in your mind. You do not need to say it out loud. The part of me that has been performing safety for years, you can rest. I have got us from here. Let the words sit there. Do not rush them. Let them land where they need to land. That voice you just spoke to is the part of you that has been working overtime to keep you small. It does not need to be fired. It needs to be retired with honor. Let it know it served its purpose for a long time, and let it know its job is done. Before I can show you the full shape of what is being placed in your hands tonight, because I will show you, and the shape of it is going to surprise you, there is one more thing your spirit needs to hear. And this one rearranges everything you thought you knew about why the room had to be closed in the first place. A woman whose name I will not say wrote to share something she had been afraid to share for 3 years. She said she had spent those 3 years convinced she was depressed for choosing so many evenings alone. She had stopped going out. She had pulled back from a friend group that used to define her week. She thought she was breaking. Then a question dropped into her, quiet on a Tuesday evening, the way real questions arrive when no one else is in the room. What if the silence has been a friend, not a symptom? She sat with the question for a week. By the next Sunday, she had written down the first 3 pages of something she had been carrying for years without knowing it. She started a project that has now reached people she will never meet. People she would not have had the bandwidth to reach if she had still been at the loud tables. I share this with permission, anonymously, because the pattern is more important than the name. There are people inside the silence right now who think they are losing themselves. They are finding themselves. They just have not been able to recognize the shape of it yet. You may be one of them. You almost certainly are one of them. That is why this message found you. And before this room opens its door again, I am going to speak something specific over your life that I believe will sit in your spirit long after this evening ends. Stay with me. What comes at the end is the reason this message found you on this exact night. Before that final word can be spoken, two things have to happen. Your mind has to understand clearly what your spirit has already accepted, and your hands have to be open enough to receive what is being placed in them. Let me make sure both of those are true before we cross the next threshold. Here is what we have actually been talking about for the last 28 minutes. Plain words, no metaphor. Just the architecture of it. Two things are happening to you simultaneously, and neither of them is a character flaw. The first is that your nervous system has been operating in what scientists call beta hyperactivity, a stress signal. And that signal has been hijacking every prayer, every visualization, every quiet attempt to align with the life you actually want. While the stress signal is dominant, the access bridge to your subconscious stays closed. You can pray for years, and the words land on the wrong side of the wall. The second is that a frequency you were born with, a quieter genius your childhood self had natural access to, has been dimming since around the age of 7. Researchers call this the decline effect. It is the reason childhood often felt magical, and adulthood often does not. The frequency was not destroyed, it was suppressed. There is a difference. What is being offered tonight, and what your spirit has been pulling you toward in this room, is a sequence-dependent restoration, not a quick fix, not a manifestation. Hack. A foundation laid first, an acceleration enabled second. 2 stages, both required. Because the brain restoration genuinely needs both. And the person being addressed in this restoration is not the average viewer. The person being addressed is the one who arrived in this life carrying both waves dominant, the one whose deficiency is dual, the one whose original architecture is being matched by what is about to be placed in their hands. The 2-wave chosen one. That is the one I have been speaking to all evening. That is the one you are. You were not born ordinary. The childhood version of you that everyone in your family quietly misses, the one that was both calm and alive, both still and electric, was not a phase you grew out of. That was the architecture you got dimmed out of. The years did not change who you actually are. They just turned down the lights. The lights are about to come back on. A woman in Florida, 52 years old, runs a small business, has been taking care of her aging mother and a team of 10 employees for years, wrote to share what changed for her. She said every morning for as long as she could remember, she would wake up with a tightness in her chest before her eyes even opened, a knot of money worry that had nothing to do with her actual numbers. She tried meditation for 6 months. She could never reach the worry. It lived underneath the meditation. She started using the foundation audio 3 weeks before she wrote to me. The morning tightness reduced, not vanished, reduced. And one morning, she made a business decision she had been holding back for 8 months. She raised her prices. No drama, no big speech. Her clients accepted without a single complaint. Her cash flow went up 22% that month. She said the audio did not give her more confidence. It removed the panic that had been making her undercharge for years. What she discovered is exactly what Dr. Stephen Newton released to the public after he broke from mainstream research. Dr. Newton spent years at Stanford and at Boston University before he chose accessibility over institutional rooms. He named what he found the wealth signal. It is a 5-minute digital audio combined with what he calls the 9-word wealth script, a phrasing technique drawn from a 3,000-year-old Hindu tradition that bypasses what neuroscientists call neural rigidity in the thalamus. What it does is specific. It deactivates the stress signal. It restores the alpha drawbridge to your subconscious. It does not promise that money manifests overnight. It promises something more honest. The first wave of restoration, the drawbridge opens. The first wave tool opens the bridge. The stress signal that has been hijacking your nervous system goes quiet. For the first time in years, the access channel between your conscious mind and what lies beneath becomes clear. But here is what most people do not know, and what nobody told the woman in Florida until later. Even with the drawbridge open, the castle inside it can still be dim. Alpha alone is not the whole restoration. There is another wave, suppressed since childhood, that the first tool does not touch. Researchers call it gamma. It is the frequency of intuition, of flow state, of the kind of insights that arrive without warning. The decline effect, the suppression of gamma, starting around age 7, is what turned the magical childhood into the foggy adulthood. The frequency was not lost. It was put to sleep by an environment that did not know how to host it. There is a second researcher who spent 34 years mapping exactly how gamma is suppressed and how it can be reawakened. His name is Dr. Robert Lake. His work runs through MIT, through Princeton, through Harvard, and through several other leading institutions. He is not a colleague of Dr. Newton. He is not a student. They are independent researchers in different decades, in different fields, who arrived at convergent conclusions. The tool Dr. Lake created is called the Genius Song. It is a 7-minute digital audio that uses brain entrainment, binaural delivery, to reactivate the dormant gamma frequency. 7 minutes. That is the daily commitment. Hear what this means together. The wealth signal opens the drawbridge. The second wave illuminates the castle. Both are required, in that order, because the order is how the brain actually restores. That is the two-wave stack. Not two products for two problems. One restoration in 2 stages. The acceleration tool, the Genius Song, is what reactivates gamma after the first wave has stabilized alpha. Brain entrainment delivers calibrated frequencies to each ear separately. Your nervous system follows the calibration. The dormant frequency wakes up in measured stages over 21 days. A woman, 38 years old, who had spent years in meditation circles, yoga studios, and weekend retreats, wrote about her experience. She said she had been searching for years for a feeling of real connection that none of those practices delivered. They felt good. They did not feel home. 2 weeks into using the audio, the synchronicities started arriving. Real ones, specific ones. She described it as the universe, finally speaking in a language she could understand. She did not get more spiritual. She got more accurate. There are 4 questions sitting in this room with you right now. I want to answer them before they grow louder. If you are thinking, I have already tried things, hear me. Meditation, yoga, healing sounds, they all ask the brain to change itself from the inside, slowly. These 2 tools work from the outside by directly calibrating brain frequency. That is a different mechanism, and no other tool you have tried has targeted both alpha and gamma in sequence. That is the second difference. If you are thinking this sounds too good to be true, the response is not a promise. It is data, EEG, measurable, replicated in labs at Stanford for the first lineage and at MIT and Princeton for the second. Nearly 38,000 chosen ones across both phases. The shift is from belief to evidence. If you are thinking $39 or $78 is not nothing for me that is honored here, I would never disrespect your situation. The $39 entry is treated as a real beginning, not a lesser path. The $78 complete path is for those whose budget allows. There are no upsells, no subscriptions, no hidden costs. The math is simple. 39 divided by 365 days is roughly 10 cents a day. And if you are thinking, why do I need two tools? Can I not just get one? The answer is the most important one tonight. The first tool targets alpha. The second targets gamma. Two different frequencies, two different calibrations. The acceleration alone will not work if the stress signal is still hijacking your system, because beta will override gamma every time. The foundation alone solves half. They are not redundant, they are sequential. Now to the paths themselves. The world has been offering partial solutions for years. Meditation app subscriptions at $15 a month. Mindfulness courses between $100 and $300. Weekend retreats running $400 to $800. Single biofeedback sessions at $300 apiece. None of them target both alpha and gamma. Few of them target either properly. The first tool is regularly priced at $49. For viewers of this message, the price is $39. The second is also regularly $49, dropped to $39 for you. Both Dr. Newton and Dr. Lake chose accessibility. Each could have been priced higher, neither is. There are three paths placed before you, and all three are honored. The first path is foundation. The wealth signal alone, at $39. You receive the 5-minute audio, the 9-word wealth script, and 4 bonuses worth $338. The total value comes to $377 for $39. This is the path for the chosen one, whose budget asks for the foundation first, or whose stress signal is the loudest deficit. It is a real beginning, not a partial one. The second path is acceleration. The Genius song alone, also at $39. You receive the 7-minute audio, the brain entrainment technology, and 4 bonuses worth $80. The total comes to $119 for $39. This is the rare path. It is for those who already have a stable alpha foundation through years of practice and whose primary deficit is the dimmed gamma. Most people do not start here. The third path is the complete stack, both audios. All 8 bonuses combined, both doctors, both waves. $78, total $39 plus $39. The real price, no fake bundle discount. The combined bonus value is $418. The total package value comes to $496. This is the path most chosen ones recognize is theirs. Foundation and acceleration compound each other. They do not simply add up. The drawbridge open without the castle illuminated is half restoration. The castle illuminated without the drawbridge open is no restoration. There is a 90-day keep the bonus guarantee on every path. If at any point in those 90 days the experience does not match what was named tonight, you receive a refund and you keep all the bonuses. No conditions, no return needed. The bonuses stay yours, $418 worth on the complete path, regardless of what you decide. That is the kind of confidence Dr. Newton and Dr. Lake placed behind their work. Each day the stress signal continues to hijack your nervous system, and each day the decline effect continues to dim what should be bright, both compound. The version of you that has been waiting on this restoration is not waiting passively. That version is being slowly drained, while you decide whether to reach for what is being offered. The two-wave restored version of you is looking back at this exact moment as the pivot. The first wave begins with the choice. There are counterfeit versions of both audios circulating online. They use the names, but they do not contain the calibrated frequency or the binaural technology. They are ordinary audio dressed in real titles. Do not search for these tools on Amazon, on streaming platforms, or on third-party marketplaces. The only authentic source with the full technology, all the bonuses, and the 90-day guarantee on every path is in the description and the pinned comment beneath this message. The doors are there. If your spirit knows which of the three paths is yours, step into the door that is calling you. The first path, the second path, the third path. All three are honored. Your spirit knows. The doors are below in the description, in the pinned comment. There is nothing more to decide than which one is yours. The words about the doors begin to quiet now. What was offered has been offered. What was named has been named. What remains is the room and your breath and the silent agreement between you and what you have always been. If you are able, close your eyes for the next 30 seconds. If you are driving, keep them open and let the words land where they will. In your mind, imagine the door behind you opening, not into the hallway you came from, into a vast inner chamber, a cathedral inside the room, stained glass that has been there your whole life, that you have only now been given the eyes to see. The ceiling rises higher than the room you are sitting in could possibly hold. The floor stretches further than the walls allow. This is not visualization, this is recognition. This chamber has always been here. You have only just walked into it. Feel the silence become full instead of empty. Feel the space expand around your shoulders. Feel the air change. You are the one who sees, not because you trained for it, because you were given the eyes when you arrived. Receive that name. You are the one who cannot live inauthentically, and the discomfort you have felt in fake rooms was your assignment, not your weakness. Receive that name. You are the one whose private pain has been quietly metabolizing into medicine for people you have not yet met. Receive that name. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are called. Before this room opens its door again, thank yourself for staying. The version of you that almost left at minute 4 did not leave. The version that stayed is the version this whole message was written for. Release the years that taught you to question what you knew. Release the rooms that asked you to be smaller than what you were. Release the conversations that needed you to perform. And hear the Father saying, I did not bring you alone tonight to leave you alone. I brought you alone tonight to call you by your real name. You are not alone in this. Right now, all across the world, chosen ones are sitting in rooms with closed doors, hearing the same word in different languages. The same Father is speaking to all of them. The same chamber has opened in 1,000 different places at the same hour. You are part of something that does not announce itself, and that is exactly why it is real. And so it is. Before you stand up, and only when you are ready, type the words, I am, in the comments below. Not as a request, as a seal. 2 words your spirit has been wanting to claim out loud for longer than you knew. If this message found you on this exact night, there are more being prepared for the season still ahead. Stay connected so they can find you when they are ready. Share this with someone who has been unusually quiet lately, someone who has been pulling away without explaining why. They are sitting in their own room right now, asking the same questions you brought into this one. They cannot hear what you have heard tonight unless someone places the message at their door. Be the one who does. And if your spirit is still calling toward what was named in this room, the door is exactly where I told you. The description, the pinned comment, 3 paths. Whichever one calls you home.